I mean, why can't we go a more natural route? If you give me a painkiller, you give me Xanax, you give me Seroquel, and that's supposed to cover sleep, nerves, pain. Well, I could smoke a joint and my nerves are gone, I could sleep and my pain is gone. CBD, it helps with inflammation, so I would much rather go the natural route. Some people say, well, oh, you get high, it's a drug. Unfortunately, my medicine feels good, guys. I mean, it is what it is, you know, and I'm not sorry about it. I played my first game with the Dallas Cowboys against Drew Brees. I was nose guard. I weighed 260 pounds at 6'8". And that was my first game with the boys. I wound up getting player of the game, and I just stuck around ever since. Playing football, though, you hurt your body. You have to take care of your body. And the only option we had were opioids, pretty much. We're not allowed to smoke weed. We're not allowed to deal with cannabis. Instead, I was prescribed oxys, hydros, Xanax, Ambient, Seroquel, and gabapentin. And I didn't agree with it. I didn't like how it made me feel. I could feel it changing me mentally. I'd rather smoke weed. I'd rather choose plants over pills. And so I did. After getting suspended and defamed on the national level and fined a handsome amount, I went into rehab for weed. They sent me to rehab for weed. I spent 4 months there. I did a lot of therapy. It wasn't about marijuana at all. All the therapy was about me, my childhood, the way I think, the way your brain works. And it was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. And coming out, I knew what I needed to do. And I decided to step away from the NFL. Made Cannabis Passport. I'm the co-founder. It's the world's first rolling paper magazine. Give you 100 papers, 100 filter tips, which is 3 times more than anyone else would give you. And we have our filter tips in the form of an advocacy magazine, actually.
Do you mind talking about how you consume cannabis?
Sure. I consume cannabis in a lot of ways. If you have an imagination, just use it. I got all of those. So I like to actually use my papers, Cannabis Passport. Besides the advocacy piece, they're really good papers. Some of us all know we'll buy a pack of raws, and they usually canoe every time you roll them. Yeah, ours don't. Ours will never do that. It's hemp paper. Our filter tips are hemp, and the ink on it is soy, so it's 100% vegan. You could eat our product if you really wanted to. So it's either that, mostly, or a bong, backwoods, some special occasions, of course, you know. But besides that, edibles here and there. I've tried about every method, every way.
Do you consume CBD regularly?
I do, actually. I use Wild Hemps. It's a cool little CBD cigarette, or hempette. It's the first of its kind, and they're really, really good. So y'all should try those. Tinctures.
Do you use the tinctures?
Yeah, I do. I like full spectrum. Yeah, a lot of people say they could feel the THC effect, but not so much for me, and it's really the whole plant, so I think it's healthier for you.
When you were training for the NFL, how were you medicating, and how often were you medicating with cannabis?
Every single day, probably 3 to 4 times a day. So if I were to wake up and I'm gonna eat breakfast. I'm gonna wake and bake, eat breakfast. I'll go to the gym, still feeling my morning medication. After the gym, go home, eat, medicate, eat, shower, go sit on the couch. Now you feel great. Your body feels nice and relaxed. And I mean, whenever you need it, medicate. So I use it quite often. And to be honest with you, I don't use it now as much as I did in the NFL. I had a lot more weighing on me in the NFL. It's a lot more than it looks like. It's not just football. So you take that into account, and then you have the politics of the NFL, and then you have your family problems. You know, I'm a real person, and when I was in the league, man, balancing my normal life and football and the pills and it was horrible. I used way more, and I didn't like how much I used, but luckily it's just marijuana.
How do you think having this option would change the game for players if they were able to medicate with cannabis?
It'll change a lot, actually. I feel like a lot of us will be much more well-rested. I feel like there'll be less injuries. In my experiences, when you have a clear mental state, you're able to do your job better. And I feel like a lot of people would have a much clearer mental state. You know, it helps. It's proven to help. CBD alone is proven to help with inflammation. In my mind, you would think the coaches would want us using that, getting us back healthy again. And let's talk about the bigger part of it, CTE. As football players, we hurt ourselves. I play defensive line. When they snap the ball, my job is to hit you as hard as I can and see who yields first. And no hydros, no oxys, no Xanax, no ambient. None of those things are neuroprotectants like CBD is. You know, you could either, if you're gonna take anything for pain, inflammation, why not something healthy? You know, if it's bringing you back, if you're recovering quicker. If I sprain my ankle, I could take tramadol and all this other BS. Or I could take my tinctures, some creams, you know, ice, take these natural methods and you're better. I mean, I've been known to recover very fast from injuries, very fast. And medical marijuana has always been in my cocktail. So I feel like I've been using it for medical reasons before I knew that there were medical purposes.
What do you think about this latest headline, Jerry Jones? What did he say, and what do you think about it?
Well, Jerry and I, we're always pretty close. We've had our one-on-one talks and things like that. We had a great rapport, and he was always clear that he supported our side of it. He doesn't agree with the medical rules. Unfortunately, he's not Goodell, but he actually, he's always felt strongly about it, and I'm glad he's speaking up. Maybe the MLB put some fire under his ass, you know? But I like it. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he said what he said on the same weekend I came down here. You know, I think that things are in the works, things are aligning, and I don't know, we'll see what happens this next year.
What would you like to see happen in a perfect world?
In a perfect world, marijuana will be federally legal. In the football sense, it would be legal. They just should stop testing for it. I'm not saying stop testing for everything, you know, but marijuana, it definitely needs to be done. It's done. It's the only thing we have that we know is a neuroprotectant. Football is the most physically demanding sport. It shouldn't be there. You're taking guys' money, you're altering guys' perception, and I don't agree with it. You know, it's bad. And I was a part of it. You know, I got like my contract cut. You know, kids look up to me as some role model, and now they think I'm a drug addict, and you know, it puts out a bad image, and they just need to change it. Simple as that. And I think people just need to understand that everyone smokes. There's not a certain type of person that uses cannabis. You know, you could be white, black, tall, skinny, poor, rich, doctor, homeless. It doesn't matter. Like, everyone uses it. It's a community thing. And people just need to understand that it's not bad. It's medicine now. Like, it's an old way of thinking to think marijuana's bad. Honestly, since leaving the NFL, I've met some pretty amazing people. I don't know, I just feel different. I feel great, and I have different motivations. I know I'm doing the right thing. This is a bigger cause than football. This is something real. It's about health, you know, it's about our rights, it's about advocacy. And I'm here, and I'm gonna finish the fight. And I encourage everyone who's fighting with me to keep fighting to the end, because we're gonna come out victorious.